on vibrate. You're just turning the volume down. You need to put it here, slow side. Yes. No. Or you can put on silent mode or vibrator. Mute will be fine. You just need to make sure that when you leave to put it back on. Here, as if you like me, I put my phone down. I'll never find it. What page is it? See how there must be remotely somewhere. Golden Death. All right. Guess. Whoa. You need to mute. I'm muted. I'm muted. I didn't realize last time sound has to be off too, so remember. I learned that the hard way. No, you can have that on. It just had to be muted on the
Oh, yeah,
Zoom.
our iPads have to be muted and sound off.
Pardon? We'll call the Code Compliance Board. Roll call. Janie,
Here,
Dale, Blanton, here, Linda Dillon,
here.
Rodolfo.
Absent.
We have only discussions tonight, and the first on the agenda is the election of chair and vice chair.
And you know I want to nominate you.
Well, I politely declined, but I'd like to nominate Janie Anderson as chair.
Yeah,
Y'all
I-
want to second?
I think you would be an incredible chair. With your demeanor and your attention to detail, but I respect if you want to decline it, but just know.
Will you not reconsider,
I
Dale?
have a lot of
Because
respect for you.
you have the most experience of all of us. And I really think it would be a great loss to the village to have you decline.
Why, thank you. But, Ellen, Linda or Janie is because the amount of time I'm still.
That's true.
Downtown.
It would be my honor.
It doesn't really require that much time, you know, outside of this meeting.
I
Janie,
would,
would you accept?
yes.
Linda, do you have a position to take here?
No. Will you
What?
accept vice chair?
I'll accept vice chair. Okay. Linda,
That's fine.
there we go. And with that, Janie,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. That's an honor. And let's face it, we all know, filling Gary's shoes, damn difficult. I
Absolutely.
mean, that man brought a knowledge, a working knowledge, thought of things that most of us never would, and he's going to be sorely missed. I will do my very best. I will learn from everybody I can.
And that was one of my thought processes. I know that you delve into more of it than I have the time to actually do. And I think I would be somewhat of a disservice on some of the cases that come before us.
I will respectfully and politely disagree with you, but again, I'm honored. Thank you.
Anyway, I think we'll do a good job.
Exactly. I mean,
Hopefully we'll get some more
clearly we have an
members.
issue. Clearly we have an issue. It's not working, but we'll make it work. We will.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, Mac, do you want to kind of go over some of your proposal with us? Does everybody have a copy?
I have it on my phone.
Okay.
I feel better.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yep. Okay. Hi, guys. Congratulations, Janie. So I wasn't coming to present this item to you guys. It was my item that I brought to the commission, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any about the item. It's just a little ambiguity in our code regarding fences that I've noticed at some meetings. People are being cited for things. It's unclear. And there's some language in the code that I think could be tightened up. So that's why I asked the commission to consider it. They thought it sounded like a good idea, and we asked, of course, it always has to go through planning and zoning, and I believe I'm the one who said, let's have code compliance provide an opinion as well. So if you guys would provide an opinion to us for our next meeting, That'll help us make a decision about what we want to do. Now, to be clear, there's language in there that says that bamboo, about the bamboo materials attached to fences. And the language just isn't clear because in some places that's allowed, in other places it's not. And I think some people come in here confused about why they got cited. So it could be cleared up by adding a sentence that I provided in my item that you guys can read. But alternately, you could also provide opinion that you think bamboo or other screening materials should be allowed on chain link fences. I'm going to guess there are some residents who consider a screening material to provide additional privacy for their backyards if they have pools and kids and whatever. So I have my own personal opinion about it, but if you guys decide that you think that bamboo or other screening materials would be appropriate, then we could also clarify it that way. So it's not necessarily to tighten it up to make bamboo screening and other screening materials not allowed, but also alternately to allow screening materials to be put on the fences. So you can have an opinion either way. And I'll stay here if you want to ask me any questions about that.
Who'd like to start?
Well, what I was reading. Slats. Slats are not approved. Flats are not approved.
Correct.
And what's decorative art type material on the inside. They don't have to see that, but
Mhm. Right. Because it was supposed to have been a wood fence. Yeah. I really, I'm sorry, Linda. I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. I was just to say, as personally, I don't have.
And the chain link.
Chain link.
As long as it's well maintained.
Then it should be out.
It should be on the outside.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. But we could limit it to bamboo. We could limit it to bamboo.
Or
What do you think?
I don't have. a problem. Wooden slabs. Like a wood.
Yeah, that one can be structural. The plastic.
I mean,
I agree. Uh-huh. Sure. Would we want to say something like, The only secondary or decorative fencing material to be allowed would be bamboo, which also then must be, of course, part of the permitting process. So that that's all inspected all at once. Would we want to allow for bamboo?
If you say if you say the only decorative, then what about other plant materials?
I don't want, how big a can do we want to open that? That's what we kind of have to decide, because they're looking, Mac's looking for a recommendation from us. So we probably will want to consolidate it as much as we can to, without leaving it completely open.
I'm just trying to think.
Mhm.
Like, there's- Lots that look like
Well, how about something to the effect, or any way to phrase this, that when someone applies for a fence permit, if the plan is to include some sort of decorative or screening material, it must all be part of the original permitting process, so that then P and Z is able to make an aesthetic judgment.
And in the instance that fence, if you
Gotta
want
go through the
you
permitting.
have to go through the permit. Plus
Mhm.
decorative materials attached.
Actually, that made it even, you made it even simpler. In order for any secondary or decorative fencing material, including but not limited to bamboo, to be permitted, the permit must be approved.
That would work.
Will then approve. Because then,
Instead of saying they can't,
Yeah.
in order to do it.
You have to do this. That makes more sense.
needs that.
my question would be, is that hired, what's effective besides
Right. And what I'm thinking is we want to kind of concise so that I can type this up and then, you know, how Paige does when they recommend something, we send it on. I want to make sure I've got exactly what everybody's thinking correctly before I do that, since we won't be able to, because you're going to do this in June, am I right, Mac? June's meeting? So we have time to meet. So we'd have time to meet again to, I could type something
To
up.
talk
and then
about
you guys
that.
could, you know, agree or disagree, and we can change it. So we're looking at July. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, gotcha. All right, then we do have to solidify the phrasing.
So I like what you just said a minute ago.
Any secondary or decorative fencing material, including but not limited to bamboo and other screening materials, may be attached or placed adjacent to a fence, but must have, must
be permitted.
be permitted.
And somehow
In
we want
order to
work into-
attach.
To the decorative side
Mhm.
must be.
Well, we'll go to be permitted, it would have to go P and Z. So let's see if I've got it then. Any secondary or decorative fencing material, including but not limited to bamboo and other screening materials, may be attached or placed adjacent to a fence. However, a permit must be applied for and approved. Subject to the approval of planning and zoning, and must go through the permitting process. That's rough, but I think it gets up.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
okay. So secondary decorative fencing material, including but not limited to bamboo and other screening materials, may be attached or placed adjacent to a fence. Now, how do we get into the,
So when you're talking about Jason, you're talking about it's not attached. They put 2 feet on the property.
oh, we probably should not do the. Yeah,
No,
so
I'm-
yeah,
and
we
I'm-
gotta
and I'm
take that
going-
out.
I don't
Yeah.
think that is
Yeah.
good terminology.
So we'll
because-
take the placed adjacent to the, we need to take the placed adjacent out. Okay.
Yeah, that- off there. Fence. This is my fence. I just put this up to keep view. Fence. The secondary fence. One of your
Any,
neighbors also.
any secondary or decorative fencing material, including but not limited to bamboo and other screening materials, may be attached to a fence, subject to.
Approval by the planning and zoning.
I don't know that we usually put planning and zoning, we usually put planning and zoning within an ordinance, or do we simply say subject to permit approval?
That's okay. It's fine.
Is that okay?
That needs to be changed. Yeah, I was gonna say that needs to be changed. I
But-
think that's good.
Okay,
Subject.
subject to. Okay, any secondary or decorative fencing materials, including but not limited to bamboo and other screening materials, may be attached to a fence, subject to permit approval.
Okay.
All right, wait. At least, it's probably better to regulate it. Because in a way, as much as my initial reaction was, yeah, that stuff's really nasty, let's get rid of, well, chain link ain't pretty. You know, unless you put Clucius in front of it like I did. But, you know, other than that, chain link ain't pretty, and if somebody wants to soften that look, as long as it's gone through the permitting process and we have certain materials that, you know, will be cool to, then I kind of changed my mind.
I guess pretty much I'm of the opinion that have grass
Yep.
all
All
through them,
through it, yeah.
weeds from the
Yep.
back of it coming up and out,
Yep.
and they may have a nicely cut yard, but the edging of the fence. is not there.
Yep.
And I would.
Yeah.
More of a,
I can tell you it's a losing battle, both when we had the, because you know, my back, the fence is on the outside of my fence. And it was a losing battle when we had the Arecus, which you couldn't help it. Now Lucius is not so bad. I can keep it a little bit better trimmed, but you're exactly correct. If somebody wants to screen that baby off, as long as it's been approved, as long as aesthetically, P&Ds have their say so.
and I have seen standard fences.
There's your problem. A
Exactly.
lot of those, right.
But then we have to put a fence.
Same
Every
difference.
fence that has
Same
that,
difference.
Part of it looks great, the other part has block boards.
Same difference.
On the top, dog ears.
Same difference, though. So we're good with any secondary or decorative fencing material, including but not limited to bamboo and other screening materials, may be attached to a fence, subject to permit approval. Because I think that's where we're getting into trouble now, is people do it piecemeal. That's my fence, I got that, but now I'm coming back and doing this part. Well, be permitted like anything else.
That in. One of our.
Oh,
opinions.
okay. Do you want to, should we add that?
Well, I don't know, I was just thinking, but then I know that, well, yeah, how many people have one uniform fence? Personally, we have back, but
We do
front,
too. At PVC in the
where
front.
people will see, it's
Yeah.
a wooden fence.
That's true. That's it. We're the same way. We have chain link in the back, most of which is hidden with fuchsias, but it's PVC in the front. So yeah, we probably can't get them into that. I think we're good with that one. Is everybody okay with what we decided?
Mhm.
And I'll type it up and send it to Shante. Okay. Shante also emailed, she wanted to know if we had any approved minutes. At the point in which we got the 16th and 17th, I don't know that you guys would have had time to read them by now or had March 16th and 17th.
For March?
No, we still haven't approved those because at April's meeting, we only got them that day. So we didn't approve them.
I thought we did.
No.
Let's
So
see.
I didn't bring my notebook because my notebook has all the, whether we did or did not.
No, because Mario sent them that day, and at that point, nobody had had time to read them. While we're looking for that, got it.
All right, thank you.
Mac, thanks, Mac.
Well, I do see where we, March 16th.
Yes.
March
Yes.
16th.
Did you sign them and turn them in? Okay. I'm sorry, how did I miss that?
Well,
Sorry.
I wouldn't have had time. I just put on that stop.
You noticed
I
on
was
the
pretty
folders?
sure we had.
Yeah, yeah, because. March 16th.
And we'd, what date did we'd approved them at the April meeting?
Yes. April.
Thank you. I missed that one.
I think we actually did the 17th as well because that was only.
There wasn't
one
much.
case. Huh?
There wasn't much to the
It's
17th.
one, I think we approved both of those minutes because that was only one case.
Yeah, there was only one case. Thank you. I clearly missed that. I have a bit of an idea, if you guys don't mind taking a couple more seconds. What I'd like to do, obviously, we follow the agenda, of course. What I would really like to try and see how it works is follow the agenda, but first with the people who are here or on Zoom. And I was trying to think of a way not to make it clunky. And Mac actually gave me a good suggestion. Instead of just having people sign in on a sheet, let them sign in on the agenda. And then Ibrahim can go that way first. And if somebody comes in, there's less of a chance that, okay, somebody came in late and we've already heard their face. Maybe we haven't, because they're here and then they get their time. So I was trying to think, what we can do every 5 minutes. Is anybody here for such and such case? We'll be there all night. But signing in. Okay. I'd like to at least try that way.
Why
I think
not?
that would work, because otherwise, you're right, my
It can get
suggestion would be
clunky.
just at the beginning.
Now we're having the next person.
Yeah, well, or. Agenda,
Mhm.
please advise if you're present, they say that you're present. Down, go through
I
all
like
of those.
signing in with the agenda. It's right there that way.
We have to ask. Zoom,
Yes,
somebody
of
here,
course,
you
of
know,
course,
to
of
let
course.
everybody hear.
I
I like doing it personally. I
like
would
it.
like to see it forever.
and
As long as people can hear. Bob,
Yeah.
can you hear us?
he's probably getting. Yeah, but, and I'm also gonna do one thing again, if nobody minds. I'd like to sit next to Ibrahim, so they're able to hear him and hear the podium. Nobody minds.
I don't know. I don't think there's any precedent that can hear this section.
Which is usual.
I
That's
like sitting on
normal.
the end.
Yep.
So them
And I know
Linda,
I-
you can sit right where you're sitting.
I just like to sit close enough to where I can hear because I don't hear real well, you know, so.
what did I admit? Yes, I'd rather be able to.
I had a
hear
couple
you.
more things on Mac's proposal
Okay.
that I'm being picky. Can we talk about some of those things or?
And we're still
Okay,
recording.
they had this section, I get really, I have difficulty when they talk about that, this can be 45% of something or other, this can be 55% of something or other in terms of different things. Here they were talking in paragraph on section 11.6D. They're talking about the footprint of the enclosed area of the dwelling totals less than 55% of the property. I mean, how do you determine some of this? I think some of these things are just
Which ordinance is that? That's
Is
a-
that
this-
for the fence?
for the fence, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going, I didn't look at all of that because.
Yeah, I
didn't
thought
think
the
that
only
was
thing
what
they're
was
doing
before us.
is what he was saying.
But as far as that, you go by the survey and
Yeah.
that's why you have to have a survey that.
No, as
provides-
far as what Mac is wanting to change, it's just.
Oh,
this
so I guess there's other things on there that I think should
Oh.
be changed.
Yeah.
You know, some of the language
This
is
the only part
redundant.
he asked a question. We've heard it.
Okay, well, you know me, I went through the whole thing line by line, word by word.
That's
You're
why
so
I
good.
grabbed my
And-
phone and I was looking,
Yeah,
I'm going, wait a minute. did I
No,
miss
that's
something
the,
here?"
I only.
Because
that's the
when you say
only
something
thing
is a minimal nominal,
he-
that
he
that's redundant, you know, it's either
he
minimal
included-
or it's nominal, you know.
He included so much else, but this was really the only concern. And I really think I like what we came up with, you know, and
Okay.
again, my initial reaction was absolutely forbid it all. And then step back for a minute. No, you know, it makes sense and it would hide a lot of issues.
Yeah,
That's
and I
fine.
have seen some bamboo fences that are, well, not really fences, they're more gates.
Exactly.
And they're very, they invite you into,
More of a tropical look.
yeah, the
It's really
garden
kinda
that they
cool.
have
Sure.
and the whole,
Yeah, it's
it
it can be
says it.
it's the same principle as pretty much everything else. If we enforce our codes, we enforce things like unsightly properties and whatever, and we get people on board, there's a lot more that can be done. We don't have to get everything. It's just we have to take care of stuff.
Well,
Okay.
I know, I mean. We need to start. But I have to think when I
Yes.
drive and I see
Yes.
what's obvious,
Oh my God.
mold just growing up half the house. There's no landscaping around it. Well, there's some palm trees,
That's about it.
but mildew just halfway up
How about the soil?
the
I mean,
swings.
they're in the process of rewriting this overreaching soil ordinance. Bob and I walk now a lot. There's so many soils that are the 50%. So many of them. I mean, it's just abomination. We need to like, what's it, just crawl before you can run and stuff like that. And we need to kind of,
We could even get the ones already compliant into compliance, or the ones that aren't in compliance, get the weeds out of what's grown. No, I mean, if somebody puts in a gravel swale, a portion of it, or, and it's bordered,
Mhm.
then it has to be maintained. If
exactly.
people put in any type of swale, percentage evidence that it's not being maintained,
Exactly.
and gravel wears away. Dirt
That's all,
mixes
it's
with
all it is.
gravel.
It's just a dirt pit. Oh, in so many cases, it's a dirt pit. That's why I'm not into gravel. I know it's pervious and people really like it. Well, not everybody's like Max Dan, who's out there pulling weeds, raking the leaves, and most people are like, we're done. We're good. Driveway's in. Yeah. Anyway, guys, this is gonna be very interesting, and I think faith in me. I will do my best. You know that.
do a great job. So prepared. Stuff and submit it. First of
You
all,
actually have a real
procrastinate,
job.
and,
both,
As a volunteer who works so hard.
oh my God, please.
It's like, my goodness.
Are we still on?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we are.
still on.
We're still on.
But,
So,
Thank you.
God.
I enjoy it. I really do, you know. Otherwise I'd be sitting home watching television every day. So, you know,
So shall we adjourn?
Sure.
Motion,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
second?
All in favor.
Aye. Oh, sorry.
All right,
Yeah.
That's your job.
Whoops. Uh,
Oh.